Gen Z knows the math, and they still can't buy a house.
And they still can't buy a house. And they still can't buy a house. This isn't about habits, and it isn't about effort, and it isn't about effort, and it definitely isn't about avocado toast. It's about a door that was wide open for every generation before Gen Z, and then slammed shut. In 2025, only 27.1% of adult Gen Zers own a home. That's barely more than 1 in 4.
When baby boomers were 28 years old, 44.4% owned a home. Gen Z at 28, 38.3%. Already behind.
You need to earn $112,000 a year to afford the median home. The median Gen Z income is $45,000. Home prices rose over 40%, while wages barely moved. The median home price is $398,400. A 20% down payment is $83,380, not total savings, just the down payment. $45,000 income. After taxes, $36,000. After rent, $24,000 left for everything.
75% of Gen Z say the rising cost of living has made it impossible to save for a down payment. 26% couldn't put any money toward a house at all.
17% of Gen Z say, winning the lottery seems more likely than owning a home in 5 years. 17% of Gen Z say, winning the lottery seems more likely than owning a home in 5 years. There's a third problem. A structural mechanic that's specifically targeting Gen Z, and almost nobody is naming it directly. In 2020 and 2021, rates hit historic lows, around 3%. Millions of homeowners locked in at those rates. By the end of 2022, the 30-year mortgage rate had gone from 3% to 7%. Those homeowners now have what economists call a golden handcuff. Selling means giving up 3% for 7%. That's $1,000 more per month, every month, for 30 years. They didn't sell. The inventory that should have entered the market simply didn't come. Sponsor break before I show you how wide that inventory gap is. Existing home sales in 2023 hit their lowest level since 1995. Homeowners staying put at a median of 11 years. The market froze. America is short approximately 4 million homes, according to Freddie Mac. When rates went up, construction slowed. Because builders finance their projects with debt, too. Four separate structural walls stacked on top of each other. The median homeowner net worth is $400,000. The median renter, $10,400. That's a 38 times difference. Every year Gen Z spends renting instead of owning is a year they're not building equity. For Gen Z to match the boomer homeownership rate, 48.7 million more Gen Zers would need to become homeowners. That's the entire population of Spain, 2.5x income in the 1970s, 6.6x income today. 4 separate structural forces arrived at exactly the same moment Gen Z was old enough to buy. That's not bad luck. That's a structural collision. The question is whether the system was ever designed to give this generation the same shot. The door wasn't slammed deliberately. Nobody sat in a room and decided to lock Gen Z out. By the time they were old enough to play the game, 4 different structural forces had already changed the rules.
Are you a Gen Z buyer who figured it out? Or someone who did everything right and the math still doesn't work?
Gen Z is the most financially educated generation in American history. They know exactly what's happening, and they still can't buy a house.